Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. You can attempt the quiz in this app and you can read detailed explanation. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Now, let's start. India recently launched an artificial intelligence research and development initiative with which country? So this country is USA. And recently, India-US Science and Technology Forum launched this initiative in the context of artificial intelligence. The name is USIAI, that is US-India Artificial Intelligence Initiative. And from Indian side, DST is going to coordinate. What is DST? It is Department of Science and Technology. DST is under Science and Technology Ministry. Under this ministry, we have two departments. One is DST, another is DBT, that is Department of Biotechnology. Now, please note that this IUSSTF is a bilateral organization. Bilateral means India and USA established this organization to promote science and technology. Now, in the context of AI, that is artificial intelligence, recently one more event was in news. It is RAISE Summit. Actually, it was organized last year, but it is important. So what is the full form of RAISE? It is Responsible Artificial Intelligence for Social Empowerment. Apart from that, recently, India became the founding member of Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence. And this initiative was hosted by OECD. What is OECD? It is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. OECD conduct PISA, that is Program for Assessment of Students. And this time, India is going to take part in this PISA. The Secretariat of OECD is in France in Paris. Which country has recently passed a legislation to legalize euthanasia? So, Spain is this country. Recently, Spain passed this law and it legalized euthanasia. Now, with this, Spain became the fourth European country to decriminalize assisted suicide. The rest three countries are Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Now, first thing first, what is euthanasia? Euthanasia means deliberately ending someone's life, usually to relieve the suffering. Now, suppose there is a person named A1. This person is suffering from a terminally ill disease and the person is suffering from a lot of pain. So, the person requested the doctor that please give me something so that I can die peacefully instead of tolerating this pain. And if this is allowed, then it is euthanasia. So recently, Spain passed this legislation and it allowed euthanasia for the terminally ill or gravely injured patients. Please remember, this is not for those who can be treated. Now, in our country, there is a prominent case in the context of euthanasia. It is a case of Aruna Shanbhag. If you want to know more about euthanasia in our country, please read about this case. It is a very important case. Now, recently Spain was also in news because it was the host of COP25. COP stands for Conference of Parties. COP26 is going to be in Glasgow. It is related to UNFCCC, that is United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Which institution developed the Energy Swaraj Yatra bus? So, this has been done by the professor of IIT Bombay. Name of professor is Dr. Chetan Singh Solanki. Recently, this Energy Swaraj Yatra bus was unveiled by Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank. So what is so special about this Energy Swaraj Yatra bus? This bus runs on solar energy. That is why it was in news. Now, apart from this bus, recently few other events related to solar energy were in news. First is recently the researchers from Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research developed a system to capture the carbon dioxide and to turn it into solar fuel. We had covered this event in yesterday's lecture. So this process is artificial photosynthesis. Apart from that, world's largest floating solar farm is being constructed in Singapore. In addition to that, recently ISA was also in news. It is International Solar Alliance. Recently, Italy decided to join ISA. Apart from that, recently one more event related to solar energy was in news as Asia's first solar powered textile mill is going to be in Maharashtra. Which organization released All India Consumer Price Index? Consumer Price Index is CPI. Okay, so it is released by NSO, that is National Statistics Office, and this NSO is under MOSPI, that is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Now, there are different CPI numbers which are released by different authorities. So one is CPI for industrial workers, another is CPI for agricultural laborers, third is CPI for rural laborers. All these three, that is CPI for industrial workers, agricultural laborers and for rural laborers, all these three are released by Labor Bureau, and Labor Bureau is under Ministry of Labor. And this CPI for urban non-manual employee is released by NSO. NSO is under MOSPI. Actually, previously it used to be released by CSO, but now CSO plus NSSO are merged to form NSO. This is a little bit complicated, but let me simplify. Two organizations were there under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. One was CSO, another is NSSO. To simplify it, government merged these two. Now we have NSO. So now NSO released this CPI for urban non-manual employee, and NSO also released CPI data for rural, urban and combined. Please note that this rural is different from rural laborers. What is the cost of LED bulbs under Gram Ujala program, which was launched by Convergence Energy Services Limited, that is CESL. So the cost of this one LED bulb is going to be 10 rupee. Recently, Power Minister launched this Gram Ujala program to provide LED bulbs at a subsidized rate of 10 rupee per bulb. And this scheme has been launched from Bihar. To be specific, it has been launched from Ara in Bihar. These bulbs are manufactured by Convergence Energy Services Limited. It is a subsidiary of EESL. What is EESL? It is Energy Efficiency Services Limited. Now the target is to distribute 600 million such LED bulbs. Cost is going to be 10 rupee. This scheme is to be financed through carbon credits. Now in simplest term, what is carbon credit? Suppose you are a company named C1. Your company is exceeding its carbon emissions. So that's why you are going to pay the money equivalent to the excess carbon emission. This is oversimplification just to make you understand. So that money will be utilized to finance such initiatives which are environment friendly. And this is one such initiative. So under the scheme, there is one more provision that CFL bulbs will be taken back, and instead of CFL, LED bulbs will be given. What is LED? It is light emitting diode. What is CFL? It is compact fluorescent lamps. So that's how the CFL bulbs will be taken back from the rural customers, and instead of these bulbs, LED bulbs will be distributed. Now, recently, the state of Bihar was also in news as it announced ethanol production and promotion policy. And it is first state in our country to have ethanol promotion policy. Which country has hosted a peace conference for Afghanistan recently? So this country is Russia. Please note that Afghanistan is facing the problems because of militancy, and Taliban is one such militant group in Afghanistan. Other groups are such as Haqqani network and all, but that is not that much important from exam perspective. Now, Russia recently hosted a peace conference for Afghanistan, and this is first of 3 planned international conference ahead of 1st of May. Why 1st of May is so significant? Because this is the deadline which has been fixed by the US-Taliban agreement to withdraw US and NATO troops from Afghanistan. Okay, let me simplify it. This is Afghanistan. Now, NATO forces, NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and USA forces are present in Afghanistan. So last year, there was a US-Taliban agreement, and this agreement held in Qatar. Capital of Qatar is Doha. So that's why it is also known as Doha Agreement. So last year, this agreement was signed between US and Taliban. As per this agreement, US security forces and NATO forces are going to withdraw from Afghanistan, and the deadline is 1st of May. So that's why, to oversee this entire process, peace conferences are being organized. Now, NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Recently, one more organization was in news as Asian NATO. So, Quad is considered as Asian NATO. What is Quad? It is Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. 4 countries are the members of Quad. These are our country, that is India, Australia, Japan and USA. Recently, first virtual meeting of Quad leaders held. With reference to Road Transport Ministry, what is RVSF? So, it is Registered Vehicle Scrapping Policy. So, what is this entire issue? See, recently Road Transport Ministry announced a new vehicle scrappage policy that after some time duration, the vehicles will be scrapped and the owners of those vehicles will be given an incentive to buy new vehicle, specifically environment friendly vehicles. Now, in order to scrap those vehicles, there are certain facilities or certain locations. In these locations, these vehicles will be scrapped. Now there is a problem. Problem is that suppose there is a person named A1. He was having a car. This car was stolen and it was taken to this RVSF, that is Registered Vehicle Scrapping Policy. The thief claimed that this is his car and now you please scrap it. So to avoid such circumstances, the RVSF will be connected to different database so that such instances can be avoided. So it will be connected to NCRB and police database. What is NCRB? It is National Crime Record Bureau. So it will be connected to NCRB and police database. Apart from that, it will also be connected to Vahan database of Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Now, couple of important points are, first, if this RVSF do not have adequate facility for the recycling of hazardous waste, for example, like battery of vehicle or any other metal which cannot be recycled or which is hazardous waste, such materials can be sold. That means RVSF is going to sell these to those recyclers who have the capability and resources to recycle such hazardous waste. Another important term is that COD, that is Certificate of Deposit. So once RVSF verified the original documents from the owner, once it is verified that you are the actual owner of the vehicle and you want this vehicle to be scrapped, so RVSF is going to issue a certificate of deposit, and this certificate of deposit can be used to get the benefits and incentives for the purchase of new vehicle. That means when you are going to purchase new vehicle, by showing this certificate of deposit, you can get certain discounts. Which organization has extended its support for the India's H2O Waterwise program? So this organization is UNESCO. This H2O Waterwise program is conducted for school students to make them aware about the importance of water. Now please note that on 22nd of March, World Water Day was celebrated, and the theme of this World Water Day was valuing water. So recently, UNESCO has partnered with different organizations for this H2O Waterwise program. Now answer in comment box which Sustainable Development Goals deals with water and sanitation. Now on the occasion of World Water Day, Prime Minister of India launched a campaign, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, Catch the Rain. So as the name suggests, it is a water conservation program to conserve the rainwater, and the implementation authority is Jal Shakti Ministry. On this occasion, Prime Minister urged that the Manrega funds should be spent on the rainwater conservation. So 22nd of March was celebrated as World Water Day. Apart from that, 23rd of March was observed as Martyrs Day in the memory of Shahid Bhagat Singh, Rajguru and Sukhdev. 23rd of March was also observed as World Meteorological Day. On the other hand, 21st of March was observed as World Poetry Day. Which state has passed a bill to recover damages from the protesters? So this has been done by Haryana government. What is this entire scenario? See, during protest, a lot of people damaged public property, and since it was a mob, it is very difficult to fix the accountability that who did so. So now the state government of Haryana has passed a legislation to recover the damages of properties caused by the person during agitation, including riot and violent disorder. A similar legislation had passed by the Uttar Pradesh government last month. Now please answer in comment box whether there is any fundamental duty mentioned in our constitution to protect the public property or not. Whether there is any such fundamental duty or not. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover important news events. First is summer. What is summer? It is strategic action for elevation of malnutrition and anemia reduction. So this is the name of campaign started by Jharkhand government. As the name suggests, it is to tackle the malnutrition and anemia. Next is Mukhyamantri Chiranjeevi Yojana. So it is universal healthcare scheme and it has been started by Rajasthan government. Next is fresh fruit cakes. Actually, this is a kind of movement which has been started by the fruit growers in Maharashtra. What they are saying, as per them, why to be dependent on bakery made cakes? Instead of that, please give priority to the fresh fruits. So nothing much can be asked from it. In simplest term, they can directly ask that this fresh fruit cakes movement was in news. It is associated to which state? So it is associated to the farmers and fruit growers of Maharashtra. Next is 67th National Film Awards. So recently these awards were announced by the Directorate of Film Festivals. This is under INB Ministry, that is Information and Broadcasting Ministry. Now few important names related to this award ceremony are, first is Best Feature Film. So best film is Marakkar. It is a Malayalam film. The full name is Marakkar, Lion of Arabian Sea. So this is the best film as per these awards. Best Actor was given to Manoj Vajpayee and to Dhanush. So Best Actor award was shared by these two. Best Actress was given to Kangana Ranaut. Now there are more than 50 names as per these awards. So the cost to benefit ratio is not that much. So it is better to remember this few names. Next is World's First Catastrophe Bond. This is also known as World's First Cat Bond. So this has been issued by the Red Cross of Denmark. And these are for volcano related disasters. Next is TCL, that is Tata Communications Limited. So recently government decided to exit from TCL. TCL is a part of Tata Group. So government decided to sell its 26.12% stakes in TCL. Now this is a disinvestment done by the government. Please note that for this year the disinvestment target is 1.75 lakh crores. Next is Reimagining Water Security for All. So recently this report was released by UNICEF. Next is circular economy. So in simplest terms, circular economy use the same resources again and again. That means in circular economy, recycling is done at vital scale. So Niti Aayog and the government of India has formed 11 committees to focus on 11 areas so that we can make India a circular economy. So in simplest terms, circular economy is an economic system which aims to eliminate waste and which focus on the recycling of those resources so that they can be used continuously. Next is India's first project under National Perspective Plan for Interlinking of Rivers. So this is Ken-Betwa link. This Ken River is in Madhya Pradesh, Betwa River is in Uttar Pradesh. The objective is to connect these two rivers so that water surplus from one river can be transferred to another river. Now please note that both these rivers are the tributary of Yamuna River. So recently, agreement was signed between the Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Jal Shakti Ministry for this river interlinkage project. So the objective is to transfer the surplus water from Ken River to the Betwa River so that water facilities can be provided in Bundelkhand region. Now there is one more important issue related to it. This river interlinkage, that is interlinkage of Ken and Betwa, is problematic for Panna Tiger Reserve. As per environment experts, this may cause a problem for Panna Tiger Reserve. So in exam, they may ask you that the Ken-Betwa River interlinkage project may have an impact on which tiger reserve. Next is Gandhi Peace Prize. So recently this Gandhi Peace Prize for 2019 and 2020 were announced. For 2019, it was given to the Sultan Qaboos bin Said of Oman, and for 2020, it was given to, that means for 2020, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was selected for Gandhi Peace Prize. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is considered as the father of Bangladesh, founding father of Bangladesh, and presently the Prime Minister of Bangladesh is Sheikh Hasina. So she is daughter of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Please note that this year India and Bangladesh are celebrating 50 years of diplomatic ties. Bangladesh became a separate country as a result of 1971 Indo-Pakistan War. Next is Shamla Gopinath Committee. So this committee has been constituted by Reserve Bank of India. The committee is chaired by Shamla Gopinath, and this committee has been constituted for evaluating applications for universal banks and for small finance banks. Next is Arindam Bagchi. So recently he has been appointed as the new spokesperson of Ministry of External Affairs. Previous spokesperson was Anurag Srivastava. Next is cloud computing. So recently Niti Aayog partnered with Amazon Web Services to train students in cloud computing. So these were the most important questions and news events. Thank you, and that's all for the day.